James Gibson 1, James Gibson 2, and James Gibson 3 on the land forever because the court said so. But me and my friend, man, if you want to call it that, with my friend Carl Williams, man, you know what I'm saying? And jail is all about staying in your own lane, man, minding your own business, man. And it used to be about principles, values, morals, respect, honor. You know what I'm saying? If I bumped you or moved you the wrong way, I just say I'm sorry, and we would be able to forgive each other, man. You know what I'm saying? Or if it was a disrespect or you said something that you couldn't take back, we'd take it to the side and we'd knuckle it up. And you bust me up, I bust you up, and then the next day we was back down. We kept it moving, man. You know what I'm saying? We was back on the land. You know what I'm saying? And we was back at the parties. It used to be we can go to a party, man. You know what I'm saying? And we can charge 50 cents at the door, $1 at the door, and everybody come in. We weren't coming to the party with no guns. We went to the parties because our mamas had left out of town for the weekends, and we knew we had Saturday and Sunday to get it in, man. About to have a good time, right? And so the land has changed, and I was in Stateville, man, my last part of my journey, man. And I was with this brother, man, and we shoveling snow, man, and we cutting grass. And I remember you telling me, keep that, what you used to tell me?
What?
Don't get off that line, boss.
Oh yeah, don't cross that gun line.
Don't cross that gun line, boss. Don't cross that gun line, boss. And we talked about, man, our hopes and our desires and our dreams, because like I said, we was only getting certain information, and our desires and our dreams was our babies, man.
That's very true.
That we left behind, man. You know what I'm saying? That we can hope that when we get there, man, that just maybe, man, we can save our babies or somebody so that we can show them that what we've been through. You know, I lost my son 9 years ago.
Right.
To this violence in the city of Chicago. And it broke my heart, man, my only son. And so I know you must be going through an emotional pain and separation. I don't want to say that I apologize for not calling you immediately, because I knew your pain. And I knew that if I called you immediately, it wasn't nothing you want to hear.
That's very true.
And then you had just came home. I had just left you. Remember, I was in the shop. I was in the shop. They like, man, Gibson, you up out of here. And I'm like, man, you next. And remember, we was talking. You know what I'm saying? We was talking. You like, man, you next. And you next. And you next. And we all come up out of here. Shorty G, you, me, we all out of here. You know what I'm saying? And then so I didn't call you because I knew your pain, man. And it wasn't nothing to say, and nothing for somebody to say when you lose your baby, man. No matter how old they get, man. No matter right or wrong. No matter how they shake the tree, man. These are our babies, and this is what we did. We came through all that we came through to get out to this. Still it's a mess, man. So I want to bring you here, man. James Gibson OnTheLand, man, so the people, man, can hear your pain and talk to you, man, about who is Carl Williams.
Well, first of all, my name is Carl Williams. And let me say this, and my son, he goes by the name of FBG Duck. So I don't want to shorten it to FB, but it's FBG Duck.
I'm so apologize to that.
But to me, he's always to me, it's just Carlton. You know what I'm saying? I've spent, almost 27 years in prison wrongfully convicted. Fighting back and forth before the courts. I'm before the court still to this day. Fighting for my certificate of innocence. But to hear that my son was murdered in the street, for me, it was a tragic thing. Matter of fact, it's a brutal hearing to the ears when you hear that something so tragic has happened to your son, especially when you was just speaking to him the other day, or especially when he just came to see you the other day. So I didn't want to believe it. Sad but true. I kind of knew that it was true. I still haven't seen the video to this day. I refuse to look at it. And for me, it's something that plays in the back of my mind every day. Here's a kid who had the potential to do great things in life. Not only that, but that I worked on almost every day to just change his mindset and his ability to be able to think beyond just the streets. You know what I'm saying? I've been there, I've done that, I've lived that life. I've hustled in the street, I've done, the whole 9 yards. So for me, a father, you always want something better for your kids.
Say that, man.
So I was proud of the fact that he was taking strides to be able to grow and develop as a person, with his own identity, to be able to achieve something in life. But the one thing that I always used to say to him is that you got to stay rooted and you got to stay focused, because it's so much chaos and destruction in the street that it'll begin to consume your life. Now to have an effect on your life and those who you connected to. So my responsibility to him when it came to his ears was that your life is not just your life, it's a shared life. So what affects you affects everybody else. What affects someone else in your family affects you. So I think that's one of the things that I used to always try to instill in him. But I've always known him and will continue to know him as a kid of great substance. A kid who also made mistakes and choices in his life that himself may not be proud of. But at the same time, it's a learning experience for him to be able to grow and develop and to be able to achieve a goal of doing something great that he can look back on and say, hey, you know what? I'm proud of what I've done and where I've come from. But his kids also could have that opportunity to look back at their father and be proud of them and be proud of him. You know what I'm saying? So every day still, like I said, it's a one-day process at a time for me. You can never get over the loss of a child, of losing a son. So, of course, I was deeply affected by it. Still is to this day. How brutal is it to come home and then, or just before you're about to be released, hear that your son has been murdered. I was supposed to have been released 6 months, 7 months before that.
You were.
But the judge kept prolonging. The prosecutors had been conceded. It's the judge who continued to carry on the process, to continue to hold me in prison wrongfully because of her own ignorance and miseducation, not just of the law, but just of her own ego. Mm-hmm. So because of that, my release was prolonged for weeks, months, and years on end.
I remember that.
I sat in prison almost 10 years plus after the fact the case had been overturned 3 times.
Wow.
So she refused to take me to give me the new trial and keep giving me these same long continuance about these police officers who are known as criminals, who are known as crooks, Hollerin, Boudreaux, Detective Winstead, Turner. All of these officers are well known for committing crimes against its own citizens.
So do you think by the judge procrastinating and not following the letter of the law, by stalling these cases, that if you'd got out 6 months, common sense, you could have prevented any of the things that might have led to the action of them shooting your son like that downtown on the Gold Coast, in Chicago, where the richest people were at, and so I know if you'd have been released earlier, it could have been something that we
absolutely. There's no doubt that there would have been something that would have been done different. My son knows very well. I'm a no tolerance type of person.
Right.
When I want your ear, I want your ear. I don't need to ask for your ear. I demand it. That's just how it is. And for me, of course, I would have helped him choose a better life. He could have still stayed in the rap game, but at the same time, he could have took a different approach. You know what I'm saying?
So what approach do you think he could have took in the rap game where the culture today is sex, drugs, and rock and roll? The culture today is who got more money than me. If you got $5 more than me, then you ain't own nothing.
That's very
true.
Where
did we get to this place in our life that I can't tell you I'm sorry, man? I can't tell you I'm sorry.
That's very true.
We out here, we the only ones out here, man. You can go any place in the world. They got a Chinatown. They got a Jewtown. They got all these other nationalities of people. They got blocks. Now, we got stuff. Places here and there. It's a nice place here, don't you think?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But we don't got nothing as a people. Even after all this time, we still ain't figured. I can't tell you I'm sorry. I can't tell you I'm sorry,
That's
man.
because of the egos that's in place. That's before the young youth today. See, my thing is you spoke about something earlier about when we was coming up, We'll fight in the street.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I punch you in the face. I might even beat you down.
Right.
But you get to live another day.
You get to live another day.
I might see you again. You either may pass me by or you might say, hey,
Man,
you got me last time.
Right. Let's go again.
But throw your dukes up this
You know
time.
what I'm saying? Or whatever it was, because that was morals and principles and values.
Exactly.
Where do we get off track to where it's that I'm just going to kill you, man, for nothing. And then the decision I make right then, I can't take that back. So now tomorrow, somebody want to kill me or kill him. And then tomorrow, somebody want to kill him. When do we stop? When do we stop? Let me tell you something.
Miseducation, too,
I've been gone 30 years, right? Malicious prosecution, false imprisonment, wrongful conviction. First case in this nation. I'm not going to talk about that. But in the 2 years, I've been out 29 months, 28 months. I've been all over the world. God be the glory. He's still in control.
Absolutely.
And everywhere I go in this nation, in this world, the first thing they say is Chicago, Chicago, Chicago. They don't want to do no business with Chicago. They don't want to build in Chicago. They don't want to invest in Chicago. They just say we just so corrupt. We just so nasty. We just so trifling. We don't care about nothing. That's so sad. I'm almost at the point now where I tell them, they say, where you from? I say, man, I'm just, it's so sad.
So you don't even want to claim your city.
That's sad.
Based
man,
off
I'm from the greatest. Chicago is the greatest sport town in the world.
True.
Chicago is the greatest city in the nation.
Not
man.
only that,
but
a people's place.
Everywhere I go, man, since I've been out, and you say Chicago, man.
So some strength if they say to you, man, James Gibson, I'm sorry, brother, I was wrong. But we practice this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because we understand from man to man.
From man to man, that's right.
That when did it shift though? Because like I said, I've been gone since 1989, so I really don't know about when it shifted. Because I know when you came in the joint, you was gonna stay shifted, or you was gonna get shifted.
Right.
So I don't understand when it shifted from the paradigm was, I'm sorry, man.
Hey man, it shifted when they came and made the move on Larry and them and others who were the disciplinarians of the streets.
So they wanted that, and now it backfired. You saying
absolutely.
When they took all the knowledge
what they was doing.
and the leadership,
Amen.
and then you mentioned that about Kanye West. Not that you mentioned the Larry Hoover issue. What about the song that they just dropped? That Kanye's dropping and he brought out Baby. You mentioned Dirt, and he brought out Marilyn Manson.
Right.
About this song.
You know, the thing is what they made mention about those people and their artists. Everybody know that Kanye did with the provocative because that's his marketing formula to get all eyes on him. But back to the question at hand is this. During Larry Hoover's and them trial, the U.S. attorney and all of them knew that this day was going to come. Larry knew because Jay Prince allowed him to put into the resurrection that this day was going to come. They didn't care. They want to see mass shootings of blacks by other blacks. All this is by straight design, brother. Like he said, the miseducation.
It is.
The miseducation. I know what he's saying. Had he been blessed to be out, he could have said, because his son was constantly dead. This is what I'm going through out here.
Absolutely. And not only, even if the kids didn't say it verbally, you can look at the moves they're making to tell you that they're journeying down a lost path.